What's going on, everybody? Thanks for jumping in with another episode of the Santa Barbara Zoomcast. I'm here with Samantha, and she is a comedian and the owner of, say it one more time, Bear Cave Camp Comedy. Did I mess that up?
Bear Cave Comedy. You got
I
it
got
right.
it. Okay, cool. It just flashed behind my ears when you said that. But Bear Cave Comedy, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her backstory and how she's still helping people out, making people laugh even during coronavirus. So, Samantha, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
For
Um,
sure.
yeah, so I'll just jump right in. So my
Jump
name is
in.
Samantha Behrman, but my stage name is Sam Bear, and I am the owner and operator of Bear Cave Comedy. Oh, you want to know what we're doing right now to make people laugh? Well, right now we are having Zoom comedy shows, which have been incredibly successful. I'm just always so proud of the support from the Santa Barbara community. But then with Zoom, obviously one of the best things about that is I can now reach a global audience. And we do have people who tune into our shows from across the country. We've had people come in from Canada. And so that kind of reach is really incredible. We can even have comics from other countries as well, where before that would be something that would be once in a blue moon if they were touring or traveling, and now people can just jump on. So there's so much good that's coming out of this right now.
Hmm.
Um, that's kind of what I'm doing right now with Bear Cave Comedy.
Love that. And take us back a little bit. How long have you been doing comedy, and how long have you been in Santa Barbara? And tell us a little bit about your like comedic style, because I don't know, and I bet some other people that don't know. Are you stand up or more skits? What's your kind of go-to style?
Right. Yeah. So I've been doing comedy for over a decade. I
Hmm.
was doing improv comedy pretty heavily for several years. When I was in graduate school, I had a really fun, really strong team out in Kentucky. It was great. It was a lot of fun, and it was a great stress reliever. I would use it on resumes even. So don't let people tell you can't use your fun talents on your resume. I was like, this is a team building exercise. And then I made the transition into stand-up comedy about 2.5 years ago. And that is just a very different leap, because with improv, you do have a team or at least one other person on stage to balance energy with. And when on stand-up, it's all so you've got to really flex your writing material, understand how the audience works, how you work with the audience. One thing I incorporate into my style is a lot of riffing. So that's a lot of engagement with the audience. And that style has had to change a little bit when it comes to a Zoom show. Um, and then in terms of Santa Barbara, I'm a Santa Barbarian. I grew up here, but I did leave the bubble. I left for about a decade. As you can heard, I went to graduate school in Kentucky. I performed when I was in Kentucky. I performed comedy when I lived in Israel. I performed comedy when I lived in Spain, when I lived in San Diego. But, how can you beat the Riviera of the West Coast? So I
So
had to come
true.
back.
That's so awesome. So yeah, tell us a little bit about these Zoom comedy shows. What's it kind of like? And yeah, like explain. Do you still engage with the members in the audience, or what's that? I'm very curious about other people watching.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Oh, and you had asked about my style of comedy.
Hmm.
It's very personable. It's a lot of more storytelling. When I bring people up in my shows, they've, for the most part, been vetted, so they know that I'm going to talk about them. And people are really excited to be literally the butt of one of my jokes. I do have a few people who are asking why they're not in my show, and I'm like, you're just not that funny. There's nothing I can say about you. So just tune in. But in terms of the style, I just try and keep it upbeat and real and authentic. That's my style. I don't try and go too off brand. But in terms of communicating with the audience, so the Zoom audiences, I always like to encourage everyone, turn on your cameras. We're here doing what we love, trying to bring some levity. And it is fun to engage with the audience, and they love it. I mean, I'll read their name that they put there, you know, hey Nick, hey Avi, what are you doing today? Or if I see someone not paying attention, I'm like, really? You're gonna pay for a show, tune in, and sit on your phone? Isn't that exactly what you've been doing for the last 65 days? Like, there's nothing new on TikTok, even though there's 500 million users. Exactly, and that back laugh, that's the best. When I see someone's chin, it's great. That's golden.
That's so awesome. Wow, what a creative idea. And how did you come up with that? Or how'd you get the idea to create a virtual, I'm sorry, I was going to say TikTok, a virtual Zoom comedy show?
Yeah,
That's so innovative.
well, necessity is the mother of invention, I suppose. And I was basing primarily out of Deep Sea Winery on the pier. We had such a great just partnership, and literally 2 weeks before the quarantine happened, I was about to expand into 3 other locations, really beyond just Santa Barbara, even into Oxnard, and I was a month away from launching one of my biggest events that was going to have over 250 guests. So that is my revenue stream. That's one of my major revenue streams. And I just thought, I want to see what this online experience is like. And I realized one of the reasons I got into producing, I like creating an environment. I like creating an atmosphere. I like creating experiences. And I've been able to translate those shared experiences that are usually facilitated with a lot of work to get people in the same room into a virtual experience. I get feedback constantly from attendees and from Comics Alive, comics who are doing 3 or 4 Zoom shows a day and saying they had so much fun at my show. And that's what I want people to leave with, both the talent and performers as well as the audience. I want them to just feel like they had fun.
I love it. What a great idea. And I really am excited. I want to come to one of your shows because I'm a big fan of stand-up comedy. I've gone from, a lot of the smaller shows in town and in other comedy clubs, and I've seen like even big guy names like Chris. I remember when Chris D'Elia came to like Chumash and stuff like that. It's always fun to see all different types of comedians. And it's I love events and concerts and comedy, and I miss it a lot now. So I think it's so awesome that you're doing this. And where can people learn more about you? Are you, do you post content on TikTok or Instagram, or where can people follow you and learn more about what you're up to?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I can't wait for you to come to one of our shows. One of the big things about my shows is I strive really hard to have a diverse lineup, age, race, gender, sexual identity, any of those things. You won't come to my show and just see like 4 of the exact same style of performers. And I think that's also one of the big things that gravitates towards people is I want to see myself on stage. I want to see other people reflected. So it is a great time. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok, but I think I'm much more funnier on my Instagram, on Sam Bear Comedy. That's my handle. Or you can visit my website, www.samanthabearman.com. Super simple. And if you're having trouble spelling bear, just remember, bear is an animal, man like the overpaid gender.
That's awesome. And are you and people can buy tickets on the website and then they get like the Zoom link? That's kind of how it works. It's like you start.
Yes.
Okay.
You can buy your ticket directly through my website. I do have an account, a SimpleTix account. There's a longer website, but it's much easier to go through my personal website, buy your ticket. And right now we are doing kind of pay what you want or pay what you can. We do have really fun levels. I'm a comedian. I can't just say like, pay what you want. The first level is I like comedy. And we suggest that starts at $5. Then we have an I love comedy level. We suggest that at $10. And then we have fuck yeah, I'm feeling fancy. And we have that at a 25 plus ticket level. And we have a lot of flexers who are feeling fucking fancy.
That's so cool. Well, awesome. When is your next show, if you don't mind me asking? And I'm gonna make sure
no, not at all.
Instagram and website stuff that will be in the post below. But when's your next show?
Yeah, June 11th at 7 p.m. is our next show. We are actually partnering with the Santa Barbara Food Bank, and a portion of the proceeds will be going directly to the Santa Barbara Food Bank because now more than ever, so many more people are utilizing their services, and they're such an invaluable resource in Santa Barbara before, after, and during this global pandemic. So we're really excited to be able to do that.
That is so cool. You're making people laugh. You're giving back to the community. Thank you for doing all that, Samantha. That's awesome. We're blessed to have awesome people in our community like you. And before I let you go, is there anything else that you wanted to hit on that we missed? Anything else you want to cover?
Anything else? Well, I do also have another show on June 25th, and this will be a Pride-focused comedy show. We're going to have an all LGBTQ plus lineup, and proceeds from that show will be going to the Pacific Pride Foundation. And, we're all just kind of doing the best we can. And sometimes I just want to tell people from a comedian, listen, stay in your PJs. That's what you want to do. You do you. Boo, boo. And follow me on Instagram.
Important. I love it. That's awesome. Well, thanks so much, Samantha. And I look forward to seeing you virtually and then maybe in person in a show in person when those get back to going.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Bye.